The raised cup stitch creates a raised like ring on the top front of your fabric here. To start this, we need our circle shape, and we will outline this with the back stitch. So for the back stitch, we just come up, make a short little stitch backwards, leave a space along our ring here, and then go back down in the hole of that last stitch. And we want to work our way all the way around our circle here. And my circle is a little ovalish, but that's okay. Not a big deal. Just want to go all the way around. And for this, we want to keep our stitches kind of small because they are going to be the anchors or kind of starting points for our raised cup. Go. And our last little back stitch there, like so. All right, so now that we have back stitched our circle, let's see, I ended right about here. So we want to come up on the outside of our circle, just outside of that back stitch, the last one we did there. Come on up, and we're going to slide our needle underneath that back stitch. And then our thread that's coming out of the fabric, we want to wrap that over the needle and then under the needle. Kind of press that down so it's flush with our stitch there. And then we slide our needle on through and tug so that wrap becomes flush with our circle. Then we move on to the next back stitch. Slide our needle underneath. Then we take our thread, wrap it over and under our needle, and then pull on through. Kind of tug so that's again flush with the fabric. We want to work our way around our circle here, always moving on to the next back stitch in the row. And we always slide from the inside of the circle out for the raised cup stitch. Find our next back stitch, wrap our thread around, pull it on through. And as you can see, I'm kind of rotating my hoop as I work, and that just makes it a little easier for me because we're working in a circle here. You don't have to do that, but I find it's helpful to make sure the direction of my stitches are going where I want, and it's easier for me to stitch them. Almost done here with our first row. All right, so you're on our last back stitch, slide our needle underneath, wrap our thread around, a little bit of a knot there, there we go, pull that on through. Okay, so we've gone all the way around, and now we want to add another row. So with this one, we're going to find, kind of for this next one to connect it, we slide underneath that first back stitch we did, and again, wrap our thread around, pull it on through. Now for our next one, we want to find that space in between our two wraps we made on that last row. So we'll slide our needle underneath that, and then we wrap our thread around again and gently tug. And then that wrap will sit in between the two wraps from the last row. And then we work our way around again. So we find our next space in between our wraps there, and then wrap our thread around, pull it on through. And this part can be a little trickier because kind of that space can sometimes be a little harder to see. I think that's what we want there. thread again. Mine's getting a little twisty. Wrap, pull it on through. Next one. Oh gosh, my thread's getting real twisty. There we go. And I think maybe we have one more here. So underneath our little space, pull that on through. And when you get to the end, you've gone all the way around there, we want to bring our needle back down just on the inside of our raised portion here, right next to that last stitch we did. Pull that on down, so our loop, our thread is now flush with the fabric, and we have this nice raised circle here. And you could add more rows if you wanted. You would just keep doing that same pattern again that we did for that second row. And that is the raised cup stitch.